Good afternoon, United Members of Los Angeles and friends of Laura McCutcheon for UTLA Treasurer. I am Laura McCutcheon, bilingual, multicultural, and national board certified educator, asking your consideration to be your UTLA Treasurer. If I look familiar, it's because I've been an educator and union leader for almost 2 decades in LAUSD UTLA. Perhaps we've crossed paths in my work as a teacher, coach, mentor, trainer, National Board Support Network facilitator, or representing members in union bodies at schools, Central Los Angeles, local, state, and national levels of educator and union groups. Perhaps you saw my name or picture over the years in numerous issues of UT newspaper. Most noteworthy, I am so proud of winning the 2013 Local Who Award, honoring my excellence in pedagogical practice and political action such as lobbying in Sacramento for change. I've also been featured for my work with American Federation of Teachers Educational Research and Dissemination Program and current Common Core UTLA conferences. I've worked with the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. scholarships by the African American UTLA Committee. Annually, my students win prizes for their writing. And I represent you in UTLA House of Representatives, State CFT, and National AFT and NEA bodies. Those who work closely with me tell you I am a team player, navigating across and through diverse stakeholder groups to build relationships, collaboration, and consensus with my master's in conflict management. What does my master's bring? Skills in arbitration, facilitation, mediation, and negotiations, and an instructional leadership certificate with skills in promoting community home connections, such as leading public school choice, writing teams, effective teacher-driven trainings, critical pedagogy, and social justice activism, alongside culturally relevant and responsive pedagogy. I bring diverse skills essential to being your treasurer, and I cannot forget to tell you my pre-teaching career of over 12 years includes accounting, banking, computers, purchasing, and production analyses. These skills are needed immediately, where the prior and a number of the current union leaders drove our union treasury down about $11 million. Yes, dropping from $10 million to $1 million in the red in the hole. More than that, our current budget of less than $1 million is not being shared openly and honestly with members in a clear, comprehensive, and transparent way, not coincidental during election campaigns. I believe members must be informed how their dues and political action donations are spent. More than that, our voices must guide how those monies are spent. Our LAUSD and union budgets must be fed with stakeholder input and accountability that's clear, comprehensive, and transparent. Members currently justifiably question, how can we be asked to pay more dues, wondering where dues monies go? Certainly not towards protecting the accused members already dismissed from LAUSD or sitting in district teacher jail, numbering over 1,000. That translates to 1 out of every 30 members. But by grace of the universe, thereby go any one of us. An injury to one is truly an injury to all. We want to be accountable as members, as professionals. We do not support abuse, but we demand justice. Our district has not prioritized education by putting monies closer to the classrooms, back into the arts, adult and early childhood education, health and human services, lower class sizes, reverse layoffs, or long overdue raises. I will fight for these. Yet, LAUSD pays additional administrators to assist our principals, to evaluate teachers, and hires Common Core advisors and experts without input from union membership. This is against our legally agreed upon LAUSD UTLA contract, violating state laws. Our board and superintendent put millions into iPads that will be obsolete in but a few years, rather than investing in human resources, thereby hurting our children, young scholars. I vow to counter these decisions. I vow to turn them around. I will do a dues increase, but only if members want it. I'm not going to push forward decisions members don't want. And if we have a dues increase, I will be sure that we are accountable for how leadership spends money. We cannot continue to pay dues into the black hole of the UTLA treasury, not knowing where our UTLA dues went or goes. Do you feel more protected because you pay hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars over the years to UTLA? I don't feel protected. We must demand the protections guaranteed under our legally binding LAUSD UTLA agreement contract. As your leader, I vow to protect your legal, contractual, civil, human work rights, and I will work diligently, endlessly to strengthen our union by listening and responding to member prioritized concerns and issues. I will keep the lines of two-way communication open with membership and leadership. Most of all, I empathize with members' daily lives at our school sites. I work there with you in the trenches. I hear, I feel your pain. I have been a chapter chairperson or a school site union representative almost all of my years with UTLA and LAUSD. I listen, I respond, I represent members, I speak truth to power. I am aware and sensitive to the challenges members face daily, exacerbated the last few years by budget crises, layoffs, reduced resources, charter school takeovers and cohabitation of campuses, attacks on career substitutes more vulnerable than permanent teachers, breakfast in the classroom, new Common Core state standards, and new evaluation protocols, attempts to use high-stakes, invalid data to evaluate us, and relentless attacks and criticisms by media, politicians, and administration. I have your back. I believe in you. I thank you for the work you do. I will protect you. Since Miramonte hit the news, what I call the witch hunts ensued on members, where we are 10% of state educators, but 40% being terminated. In fact, assumptions of guilt run rampant and wildly affect our members, who are irreversibly harmed. Thereby, our students are harmed. We have a superintendent who put in writing that anyone accused should be out of the schools, and administrators marching to his orders get promoted. I wrote a Central area proposal unanimously passed in Central last March of 2013, recently passed in the House of Representatives to address such egregious injustices. I wrote this before it became a political campaign mantra. I have been talking about this for nearly 2 years, and I will fight endlessly to protect the American ideals of innocence until proven guilty, due process and transparency for all accused and any member. The current climate of intimidation does a grotesque disservice to not only all stakeholders, but our scholars. How can we be there daily with the presence of mind and heart to meet the needs of healthy, whole children if we're afraid at work? Due to this ongoing hostile climate, members rightfully feel betrayed by both their district and union leadership at times. Our union appears weak. The press does not hear us. Do we talk to them? Our voice is lost in the media. We lost more than 25% of our membership over a few years. We lost pay through furlough days and elimination of professional development. We lost huge numbers of adult arts and early education educators, health and human service workers, paraprofessionals, and other support staff as we are demanded to do more at the same time as losing resources. We're demanded to meet Common Core state standards with inadequate professional development. We're demanded to serve breakfast in the classroom, cutting into instructional time. And we are under close scrutiny and attack at the same time. I empathize with you that you may just want to go to work and return to your families and friends after work and forget about all of this when you're not with your students. I understand apathy and I understand anger towards our union, not just our district. However, now more than ever is not the time to be apathetic, but the time to turn your anger into action to make real changes. I will co-lead with other UTLA leadership to lead that effort and organize actions meaningful to members. This means we must get out the vote. Please read the candidate statements in UT. Flyers cost candidates thousands of dollars. Please read them. Attend meet and greets and discussion forums. Watch candidates' videos. Grill the candidates. Grill current leadership, some saying they're reformists who've been in union power for years. Demand accountability from them. Demand answers. Demand actions. Demand protection. Demand honesty. Demand transparency. I bring this to you. The union contracts guarantees voice of members in details of professional development and evaluations and much more. This is not happening presently. Therefore, members have every right to demand more from their union leadership's decision-making and our district's decision-making. I vow to represent your diverse voices as your UTLA treasurer. It is so discouraging to me when I hear perhaps only 10% to 20% of members will vote in this election. That means possibly 3,000 out of 30,000 plus members. However, I feel hopeful in this era of member discontent with both their district and union that we will get out the vote and take a stand to make a difference. If we do not get out the vote, this election cycle will be no more than a popularity contest. District and union business will continue as usual. Candidates like me will not be heard. I count, you count. We can make the difference together. Vote. Tell other members to vote. Get active at your school, area, local, state, or national level. I will share with you how to do that. I will support you in your work as your UTLA treasurer. I will help organize you as I have been doing for nearly 2 decades. Please vote Laura McCutcheon for UTLA treasurer. My master's in negotiations, accounting, and computer career expertise background, and almost 2 decades of educational and union leadership will collaborate to protect and bring your voice back into LAUSD and UTLA and make me the best UTLA treasurer today. Thank you for your time and attention.